Hello, I'm Joe Murphy, and I'm running again to be Ward 1 City Councilor. In earlier campaigns, I spoke about roads and infrastructure, potholes, seawalls, sewer mains. I expressed my concerns for the city's financial situation, how we were going to leave our children a mountain of debt and a few rich developers. I called for an outside independent review of the city's financial situation and forecast. Now, with the mayor increasing our long-term debt, that review is needed more than ever. And the environment is always near to my heart, and I have more opinions on that than I could ever fit here. I invite you to go to my website to see past videos where I outline my hopes and plans. This time I want to focus on communication and influence. If elected, I intend to restore back and forth communication between the Ward 1 councilor and the residents. This means you will hear exactly what is planned and what is not planned. You'll get specific information. The basic obligation of a ward councilor is to call you back. Not just to call you back when they feel you are going to like what they have to say, but when they may have to give a disappointing answer. For instance, how does the mayor's hope to create a marina and new home for the USS Salem impact the plans for a new maritime center in Howes Neck? They tore the previous one down with no settled plan on what was to come. Why is the public never involved when these decisions are made? It's because they're not interested in the average citizen's opinion. If you are not a big donor or a cheerleader of the city's development strategy and rampant spending, then they really don't want to hear from you. If you question the city's intended misuse of COVID relief money, you are branded a naysayer who would object to a sunny day. But it's not slick financial management to rack up debt. Spending is not a sign of prosperity if you are simply running up credit cards. Don't leave our children's generation with crippling debt and only monuments to vanity to show for it. Some elected officials want us to just trust them, but this is not how democracy works. Transparency and debate are the foundational components of our system. So whether it's the holdup on road repair or a $500 million bond paying off pension debt, I will be in constant communication with our community. That is how a city councilor represents you. Anything less is not representative, but parental, controlling, or ruling. I also want to highlight campaign finance issues in our city. I'm concerned that there is too much money being raised by some official. There is no reason for any one councilor to have the kind of money that could buy a nice house in Quincy. My opponent's campaign fund grew by 50% just in August alone, presumably from an out-of-town fundraiser put on by a big shot developer. And he's running against me, a candidate who is not taking in or raising any money. Now, our politicians can say that getting money from developers and vendors does not influence their vote. And maybe they feel that way. But you know who does not believe them? The developers and real estate moguls making the donations. They are not in the habit of just handing money away. And often they give on all sides. Why? Because they want access, they want influence, they want an edge, and it's gross. And though, as I've mentioned, I've decided not to take or raise money for this campaign, I'm really not talking about the small donations from regular constituents who believe in a candidate and feel they are doing a good job. I'm talking about the donors who find ways to funnel more and more money to candidates, even risking fines. For instance, a real estate company was slapped with a $250,000 fine last year for funneling donations through their employees. This hides the true source of the funds and subverts the process. In 2019, I said, this campaign is far more urgent than it was just 2 years ago. I said every election that goes by, the citizen voice grows weaker, and I still believe that to be true. Please elect more councilors who believe in representative government, not a conservatorship. We do not stand up against the status quo to be contrarian, as some would have you believe, but it's because we are pro-Quincy and want it and its people to thrive. I often say when we elect the same people, we elect the same ideas, we promote the same priorities. If we keep propping up Quincy's political clique, the same people will benefit and the same problems will persist and new debts will accrue. I wish I could have spent the past few minutes talking about ideas to make our city more bikeable and walkable, on how exciting I think a participatory budgeting system would be. I'd love to lay out ideas for curbside composting and how to get the city to recycle. I want to talk more about community meetings and weekly office hours, and I want to make sure that Cynthia down at Howes Neck Community Center has a place to help our seniors and kids. And making sure that when we detour morning traffic down a small street in Marymount, that someone keeps it from becoming a raceway. These are the things I will be invested in if Ward 1 councilor. Finally, I leave you with this adage: if you change nothing, nothing will change. Thanks for listening.